Good morning. I guess I'll just do the title. Spotlight on James Timothy Turner and Rusa. Yesterday I talked about the religiosity of many in the Republic movement in the United States. Tim Turner is at the forefront of that movement as President of the Republic for the United States of America. He has had many charges leveled against him. Some of those may be true. Many do not seem to have any basis in truth from my perspective. I have heard him admit many mistakes publicly on conference calls, recorded lectures, and the one time I met him personally. He has often invited his detractors to join him in discussing their allegations openly, recorded for all to hear. None have accepted his offer that I am aware. That speaks volumes to me, which is one important reason why I remain in Rusa. There are others as well, which I will share today. Indeed, I am well aware, since I am connected to so many people across such a broad spectrum of political and spiritual I don't even know the word, perspectives, viewpoints. I am an inclusivist, not a fundamentalist. Fundamentalists teach separation. I teach inclusion. Spirituality is about inclusion, religion is about separation. People in the Republic, including Tim Turner, are separationists. I do not believe that is spiritual maturity. Spiritual maturity is always inclusive. God is all in all. Jesus is Lord of all, or Christ more especially is Lord of all, because Christ is the divine essence that's in every sentient being. Certainly every human being, whether they have a religion or not, whether they claim doctrines as truth or not, it doesn't make any difference. It's because we are born with a spark of God in us, and that spark can never be put out. Anyway, back to Tim Turner. Tim Turner is like all the rest of us, a human being. He's a human being that has had a vision that he sees, as I see my life, as a calling. It's a divine mission. His divine mission has been to help put together the re-establishment, the reseating of the Republic. I agree with him on that call. And I am also, as I said, connected to many people that do not like Tim Turner. I've had people tell me how much they love me and don't understand why I remain in Rusa. Why do you remain in this organization with this man who has such high, lofty goals and is so self-aggrandizing? I don't see the self-aggrandizement. I don't see that in him. Others may have, and he may have displayed that, and he may still display it at times in certain communications and in certain relationships with some people. Because he's human, as I am human, as we all are human. Well, at least those of us that are human are human. He's not perfect. Neither are you, neither am I. But I perceive him through the communications and the things that I have seen and heard him say, and my own gut feeling. I have seen him exercise great humility. And when I talked to him on the phone, he admitted how deep some of the charges against him land and how hard it is for him and how much it hurts. And any of us, if we're honest with ourselves, can comprehend that pain because we live in a world that has been alienated. And fundamentalist religion, of which many in Rusa are fundamentalists, fundamentalist religion is responsible, at least to some degree, of being a tool of the dark, which always alienates, always separates. My God is not a God of separation. He's a God of inclusion. So is she. But Tim may not get all of that yet. And I want you to understand that and cut him some slack and give him some grace. He's performing a necessary function. He's helping hold it together. Now you say, Ron, that's top down. We need bottom up. That's BS in our world. That's BS. You have to have an organization that has leadership. And that's not top down. That is just the way it is. There has to be someone held responsible. Now I know there are impeachment charges from the state of Oklahoma against Tim Turner. And the way Tim Turner seems to have handled the Oklahoma situation, I do not agree with. If I was in the Oklahoma Assembly and National came down on me and said, we know you've signed a Declaration of Sovereign Rights, but unless you sign the Affidavit of Sovereign Rights as well, you're not going to be allowed to be in the Republic. If I was given that ultimatum, I would leave the Republic, because I will not sign, to this day, the Affidavit of Sovereign Rights. I will not sign it, because the law form, it affirms that you believe in the law form of the Republic as being the Holy Bible and the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. I don't agree with the Holy Bible part. I said that some yesterday. The Holy Bible has been used for centuries to commit atrocities against people for being witches, for being herbalists, for being people of the land, for being pagans. And they wouldn't abide by the church's edicts. And they were burned at the stake and tortured and all sorts of things based on biblical truths, supposedly. There are too many places in the Bible where God is a demon. The Old Testament God, Jehovah, is a demon. Do you hear me? Who ordered the murder of innocent children and even innocent animals. Spare not. Don't let your eye pity. Spare not. They would cut up pregnant women, commanded in the Bible, because they were of a different tribe, a different nationality. I'm sorry. I don't believe that that's inspired by God, except to show us the dark side. That God has a dark side, or there is a dark God. But I don't see it as separate. Do you understand? It's part of the revelation of what it is to go into the illusion of separation, which we have all done. Go in as prodigal children into the far country. To forget, and then to reawaken. To die, and then to be born again. To become blind, and then to have our sight restored. To get lost in our own minds, only to have our hearts reborn and rekindled with the emotion of love that is beyond emotion, but it is an emotion that heals. The grace of God is all revealed in all of this. And Tim Turner is a man that I respect and admire for his tenacity, his courage, and his willingness to keep his hand to the plow. I don't agree with him on everything, although I am told that he believes some things that not all Christians would believe. And I've met people in the Republic that are Christians, that stretch the envelope of fundamentalist evangelical Christianity. And I'm appreciative of that. I have met people that are Christians, whose consciousness is being expanded. And I believe that is happening with Tim Turner. And one of the reasons I am in the Republic is because of my good friend, Dr. Michael Bishop, and his wife, Jennifer. They are governor and first lady of the Republic, or the Florida Free State. And it's because of them that I am in the Republic and have hung on even when I was being attacked falsely. Back last year, after becoming Secretary of State, I was attacked by the ambassador, the elected ambassador, and some others that in Florida that were trying to divide the Florida Free State based on some of the same principles people are throwing at me from Oklahoma and South Carolina and California and some of the other states where they've had such broad exiting of the Republic. I really haven't connected with very many people in Texas from the Republic yet, but that was one of the states too that said we don't want to be in Tim Turner's Republic. So they want to create all these different republics. Well, I think ultimately all of the Republic movement, the people have to come together. And it's beyond personality. And Tim Turner is only holding an interim office. Some say he wants to be dictator. Well, sometimes he has to take strong stands, I'm sure, because I do believe that the de facto, or the enemy, if you will, and you say, Ron, you're an inclusionist. Why are you talking about an enemy? Because there are people that want to maintain the status quo. And they do that by stirring up trouble. And it has happened in the Republic, and it has happened in our history all across all levels, in our religions, in our businesses, in everything. There has been this dissension that has been sown in the human consciousness. But there's something greater happening in 2011 and 2012 as the acceleration of the awakening is occurring and people are waking up and seeing the bigger picture. And that's why I stay in the Republic, because I know that the Spirit of God is being poured out on everybody, beyond religion, beyond politics, beyond the financial workings, beyond it all. God is doing an amazing thing with us. Angels are being revealed. Extraterrestrials are being revealed. And it's a beautiful thing. And I realize that that everything doesn't have to line up with my perception of reality in order for me to stay involved. I stay involved because I trust the bigger picture. I trust God. And I know that even if Tim Turner and others in the Republic may not have it the way that I think is the highest and best, I believe that God will ultimately bring us all to the place where we learn to love one another. I believe that with all my heart. If I didn't believe that, I would be very despondent, very discouraged, in despair even. But I do believe that something wonderful is happening, and I do believe that republics are the governmental bridge to take us from where we have been to the kingdom of heaven on earth, where we no longer need government at all. I do believe that Nasara, however it manifests, is going to bring great prosperity to everyone on the planet, leveling the playing field, at least for a sufficient amount of time, so that more people can awaken to the truth about who we are as human beings, children of the divine, children of one creative spirit, in whom we all live and move and have our being. And there is no separation from that perspective. Anyway, I want you to pray for Tim Turner, because he's doing the best he can do. And he works very, very hard, I'm sure of it, very, very hard to bring this dream of a republic back to life and back to fruition. I even pray for Obama in the de facto. I pray for the leaders. My heart goes out to those that are thrust into these positions. And they're not easy positions to be thrust into. So they need our prayers. Let's make a peaceful transition, folks, from a world of lies to a world of truth, from a world of disorder and disorientation to a world where we are centered on loving one another and that we are able to recognize the divine in each other, which is what Namaste means. Think on these things, and don't be quick to throw stones. Don't be quick to withdraw. Give people a break, cut some slack, and trust the divine in yourself and the divine in the whole process that is being worked out in 2012. Be encouraged. Find the love in your heart for those that you do not understand. Namaste.